Ministry of Health has been informed by the German Ministry of Health that one of your passengers has been exposed to a particularly nasty strain of influenza.
It's the flu. We've got plenty of aspirin on board.
I have no other information, but because of that exposure, you must return to Frankfurt for appropriate processing and quarantine. Your company has been informed that the British government cannot permit you to land in the UK.
Because of a flu bug? Come on. Look, let us get the heart attack victim off the airplane, then I'll take the rest of us back if that's what the company wants.
I'm sorry, Captain, but this decision has been taken at the highest levels of the British government. It is not subject to negotiation.
Why can't we at least get help for the heart attack?
Have you considered the possibility that your heart attack victim and the exposed passenger are one and the same?
What if I land at Heathrow anyway? Planning to hit us with a SAM on short final?
Not unless it's absolutely necessary. But you should know that surface-to-air missiles are in our arsenal, even at Heathrow. Your sick passenger will get help at Frankfurt. He'll get none here.
All right, London. But this is on your head. What the hell? It's the flu, for God's sake. What are they afraid of? What's going on?
Yeah,
Barb, the heart attack?
Ernest Helms.
Yeah, did he come on board ill?
Yeah. How bad, I don't know. Now he's stable. Why?
Oh, nothing. Just some nagging questions from the ground. I'll explain in a few minutes.
James, you would be well advised to do that sooner rather than later. Why? Well, some of the passengers have noticed the diversion from London, and let's just say they're getting a little restless.
All right.
Hey,
Please, sir. More helpful if you could.
will somebody please tell us what's going on?
I gotta get flight ops in Dallas on the satellite phone pronto.
Yeah, will you let me know if you want me to do anything, Captain?
Once you had heard, Herr Zeigner, that the American professor had been exposed to this extreme flu. Don't you think it would have been prudent of you as my Minister of Health to inform me as your Chancellor that we had a potential problem? It is unfathomable that I'm hearing of this just now, 48 hours later.
We had the professor's name and his itinerary. We thought we had the problem contained. But he departed from Frankfurt instead of Stuttgart, and an airliner full of people has been exposed.
An American airliner, found from Germany and denied permission to land in Britain. And your advice?
We had it recalled because we must take responsibility. Germany is the flight's point of origin.
I understand. Nevertheless, that is how your Chancellor is exposed to an international incident. How was this American professor exposed?
He had contact with the blood of an exposed researcher from Hauptmann Laboratories. I do not have all of the details, but apparently the Hauptmann employee was delirious from fever.
Is the lab worker still sick?
He died, sir. Complications.
Captain, the British Ministry of Health has been informed by the German Ministry of Health that one of your passengers has been exposed.
Does that whet your appetite? Good. Then if you want this exclusively for international cable news, it will cost you more than a few quid. What? You're way low, mate. You're lower than Charing Cross Station. I'm not in this for my health, you know.
The Germans are blaming the Brits are blaming the Germans. I understand all that, Dallas. What's our government saying? Oh, the State Department's just getting up to speed. Well, that's nice. I've got a heart attack victim and 244 other passengers headed back to Germany where we don't know what to expect, and our government's just getting up to speed.
Amsterdam Center, Quantum 66 Heavy.
Yeah, you do that, Dallas. You
Roger
call
that.
me when you hear from them.
Frequency Amsterdam Center.
We're in the middle of a diplomatic firefight, Dan, and as invariably happens, truth has become the first casualty.
So what are you going to tell the passengers?
The most comforting story I can come up with. Folks, this is Captain Holland. We've been lucky enough to catch some tailwind, so it looks like we'll be arriving back in Frankfurt within the half hour.
There you are.
Again, I apologize for the inconvenience, but the authorities do assure us that they will be able to provide the best medical aid for our ill passenger there.
Yes.
Ground personnel will also be ready to inform your...
Are you sure?
For a little unexpected delay in this unit on our way back.
Thank you.
Again, I thank you for your patience.
The doctor says he wants to keep Bobby in the hospital overnight. He's 5 years old and he's alone. Keith, my baby's alone.
He's not alone, Lisa. He's with my folks. He'll be fine. He'll be there soon.
Do you think he can hold out another 30 minutes?
Rachel, I need you to do something for me.
Sure.
There's something very wrong here, and I need to know exactly what's happening. In case it involves me somehow. It's not likely, but this return to Frankfurt is very strange.
I'll take care of it.
You tell him that the Reverend Garson W. Wilson called, and this is just unacceptable. No rescheduling the NBC interview. That was Casey, somebody, a producer or something, and he would not put me through to the news president, the damn little piston.
Reverend.
Misguided young miscreant. How's that?
Better. There are ears everywhere.
Well, they've got a movie star, Dizzle, somebody booked tomorrow. We get there tonight or we lose it.
It's okay, sir. I'll call them. We can rebook later.
No. The only thing we're rebooking is this flight. Now, the minute we hit the ground, you find out who's in charge, tell them who I am, and get us the hell out of heck out of there. Now, I don't want to miss that show. That fella has a large audience, and we need the kickoff momentum for the new book.
Sir, have you considered that perhaps God arranged for us to be on this flight just to keep you off that show?
Son, I think you've attended one too many of my prayer crusades.
Good. That's a very good number. Now, you're not gonna believe this. They got a plane load of people exposed to some nasty flu being forced into quarantine in Germany.
Because of that exposure, you must return to Frankfurt for appropriate processing and quarantine.
You've retraced Helm's route to Frankfurt,
Yes.
and all who were exposed to him have been quarantined.
Fortunately, he kept to himself. We've only had to quarantine 19 people.
And now you propose to impound 250 some odd souls from an American 747 based on the possibility that one single passenger, also an American, has been exposed to the flu.
Sir, jetliners recirculate their cabin air and, despite sophisticated filters, can spread any virus throughout the aircraft in a matter of minutes. We have to assume that everyone on board has been exposed.
Herr Zeidner, my instinct tells me you're thinking like a bureaucrat. Even as we face problems of a delicate diplomatic and political nature, so I hope you wouldn't mind I'll ask for some assurances.
Yes, Chancellor.
Surely you have made arrangements for the people to be quarantined. Your arrangements as secure as those used in biological warfare contamination cases. And you have made arrangements for the families of these people who have been mysteriously quarantined 3 days before Christmas. Yeah, and arrangements for the press. And you've considered the legal, logistic, military, diplomatic, and domestic consequences as well, yeah? Surely you've done all these things, said I.
No, sir. Not yet. There has not been time.
Well, then there's much work to do before we open this winged version of Pandora's box, which is speeding its way here. Perhaps there's also much thinking to do as well, because Pandora's clock is ticking.
I can assure you this has nothing to do with terrorists or fundamentalist hijackers of any persuasion.
Well, there are factions opposed to any peace in the Middle East. They've had the ambassador targeted for 10 years. I'm sure you can understand his concern.
Sure. The stories are legend. Car bomb intended for him kills only his driver because he decides to walk back to the hotel. We could use a little of his kind of luck on this flight, actually.
Meaning?
You're from the State Department. Let me ask you a question. Isn't there a problem when a foreign country effectively orders an American airliner full of American citizens back for quarantine?
Quarantine?
Captain.
The heart attack victim apparently came on board ill with a virulent strain of flu.
The flu?
That's what they told us. Everyone on board could be exposed. Right now, our company and aviation authorities are handling this, but it's uncharted territory. There may come a point where I'll need some diplomatic guidance from the ambassador, and you.
So it seems.
I know I hide it well, but diplomacy's not my strength.
Well, I'm sure it'll be no problem. I'll get him up to speed.
All right, Miss Sherwood.
Rachel, please.
Rachel, say nothing about this to anyone else. I haven't even briefed my crew yet.
Are you sure you did the right thing?
I don't know, Dan. What's it say in the book?
Please, just return to your seat, sir. We need to give Mr. Helms as much air as possible.
Doctor, tell me he's going to make it.
He's giving it a good fight.
Herr Seidner, please. You're certain this is correct?
Herr Zeitner, Rolf Bronschmann is on the line.
Seidner.
Yes, Herr Seidner. I don't mean to disturb you. This is Rolf Bronschmann. I'm Senior Director of the Hauptmann Laboratories Bavarian facility.
Yes, Herr Bronschmann, I know.
We've completed our autopsy. We have developed new and more accurate information about the organisms that infected the American professor. I'm afraid it appears to be something more than a new strain of influenza. Herr Seidner, are you still there?
Yes, Herr Bronschmann, I'm still here. Yes. I understand precisely what you are saying.
Carl, you will notify the Dutch air traffic control. With the American embassy.
You sure this is right? Okay, thank you. Quantum 66, Dutch control.
Dutch control 66, go ahead.
Quantum 66, be advised, sir, that Frankfurt Center has just cancelled your clearance into German airspace. We must re-clear you now to another destination. What are your intentions?
How can they cancel clearance? First the British, now the Germans? The Germans started it all.
Dutch control, Quantum 66 is returning to Frankfurt in the specific direction of the German government.
We have a medical emergency on board.
66 Quantum, according to the communication we have just received, you are prohibited from entering German airspace. I will put you in a holding pattern before you reach the border if you fail to request something else.
Dutch control.